The Red Tin Box. The Red Tin Box by Matthew Burgess, illustrated by Evan Turk. On her 8th birthday, when the sun was peeking over the treetops and everyone in the house was still asleep, Maud slipped outside and across the wet grass to the edge of the woods. At the foot of the flowering dogwood, in a soft spot where she once found a fallen nest, the earth seemed to whisper, "Here." Maud dug and dug and dug until the hole was deep enough to hold a red tin box. Only Maud knew the treasures she placed inside the box. Only Maud heard the words she said as she buried it. Far overhead, the sun kissed the clouds pink. An angle of geese honked excitedly. And Maud made a promise to herself. Maud grew and grew and grew, as all children do. She had a daughter of her own, and she grew too. But Maud never forgot the red tin box. In one corner of her mind, it glowed, though one by one, the treasures she placed inside slipped from her memory. One November afternoon, Maud was seized with a feeling like a bright spring sunrise. The next day, Maud picked up her granddaughter after school. Together they turned east as they drove and drove and drove 4 towns over. Across the river she swam in as a girl, past the road to the old schoolhouse. Maud told Eve about the red tin box, about the hole she dug beneath the dogwood, about the promise she made when she was 8 years old. But what's inside the box? How do you know it's still there? These were questions Maud couldn't answer. They sat quietly, side by side, in worry and in wonder. It was possible they wouldn't find it. So many years had passed. But there was the dogwood that Maud daydreamed under as a girl, read books under, fell asleep in the grass under. Holding her granddaughter's hand, Maud walked the perimeter of the tree until one spot seemed to whisper, "Here." They took turns nudging the shovels into the cold ground. Digging was hard, but with each small scoop, the dirt became a little softer, until suddenly, the ring of a metallic clink. Eve watched as her grandmother lifted the treasures out, examining them one by one. A tiny toy elephant, a marble like a tiger's eye, an ancient piece of candy wrapped in silver foil, a costume mustache, a small brown bottle, a bird's nest woven with purple string, and an iridescent ear-shaped shell. Once, Maud let out such a high-pitched "ha!" that a dog in the distance began barking. Maud told many stories on the drive home. Sometimes Eve asked questions. Sometimes she laughed when her grandmother laughed, and it didn't bother her when her grandmother cried. Not one bit. When they arrived, Maud placed the red tin box into her granddaughter's hands. "This is for you." Far overhead, the stars blinked, an angle of geese honked in the dusky dark, and Eve, seized with a feeling, made a promise to herself.